Hello, welcome to week 25 of Project 52, where the plan is to produce 52 tracks in 1 year, and today we are making the next track, so let's get right to it. First, a disclaimer: I just recorded for 1.5 hours or so and then realized that I wasn't recording my screen. So that was a bit frustrating, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a good time this second time around. So let's get right to making the track for week 25. As always, I actually have already started the track, and because I just recorded for 1.5 hours, I actually got pretty far into making the track. So I started with only the drop here, and now we have a intro, and we also have some sort of idea for the break part after the first drop. That means that this week's video might be a bit shorter because it shouldn't take me a whole lot of time to finish the track anymore, but it doesn't matter, I guess. I hope you can still enjoy watching me making the rest of the track, so thanks for joining in. Okay, I'm gonna first play you everything that we have done so far in the project, and then we'll move forward into the break and another build up maybe, and then a second drop, and then an outro, and that should be it for the track. And after I played you the track, before we jump into the production part, I'll show you some of the things that I did to make the track as it is at the moment. So here we go. This week's track is going to be a drum and bass one, so I hope you enjoy it. I just have to check that I'm recording the audio as well. Sorry about that. This is the part that we are going to work on now, so that's pretty much it. Before we start producing the break here, I'll briefly show you all the individual elements that are used to make the track. So starting from the drums, there are a couple of loops that are the main part, for example the hi-hat. And then we have a percussion thing with the hi-hats as well. But as you probably heard, we have these two alternating sections where the first one is kind of with this heavier, more traditional drum and bass snare. And then the second one is much darker, and we have this percussion as a snare. But let me play you the drums in solo so you can hear all the individual elements better if you are interested in those. Last fourth, we add some more hi-hats and a ride as well. I mean, the ride is actually for the whole of the second half. And then in the last part, we add these two hi-hats. We do also have another ride, which is for the quieter halves or the quieter sections with the percussion as the snare. And we are using SSF to get the rhythm that the ride is playing. So without SSF, it sounds like this. But with SSF. So this is the same trick that I did last week as well, and I've done it pretty much every week, whether or not I've shown it to you, because this is simply just a very powerful way of adding rhythm to your percussion or to your hi-hats or rides or whatever. Alright, those are the drums. Then we have the two bass sounds. The first one in the intro is a very simple faceplant patch, as is often common for my production style. This is almost like a Reese bass, but because we have so little high end, we don't even hear the wide mid-range of a traditional Reese bass. So this one sounds like this. It's almost just a basic sub bass. And actually the drop bass is very simple as well. It's just another faceplant patch and it sounds like this. Moving on to the leads, we have these two sounds in the intro. The first one is an analog lab preset, and actually the second one is an analog lab preset as well. So we have this one. And then we have this one right here. Oh, it's from Juno as well. That's cool. Sorry, this one. Very mellow. I think those two sounds work very well together. Then in the drop, we have the main melody sound constructed from three different sounds. The first two are analog lab presets, and more specifically, I think they are both from Pigments. The first one sounds like this. The second one sounds like this. The third one is a faceplant patch, and that sounds like this. This is the sound that we also use in the build-up as an introduction of the melody coming up in the drop. The last sound in the leads group is just a chord type sound, which is kind of filling up the stereo image and just adding a bit more upfrontness to the whole group. The last group is the effects group, and in there we have this ambience nature trail sound, which you can barely even hear. And together with that we have a analog lab preset playing one note throughout the whole track. That's also super quiet. Those are just kind of filling up the space. I don't even think you can hear those in the video if you don't have headphones on. Then we have two risers or transitions into the drop. And then as for the drop sounds, we have this very cool impact, in my opinion. And we use the same sound in these kind of middle parts. The last two sounds, we have this one. Whatever that is, we just have further and delay, adding that echo effect. And then we just have a very simple noise splash. Oh, actually, I missed this one. This is also a noise thing. Just louder. Okay, that's it for the individual elements. Let's move on into making the break here. I remember before I realized that I wasn't recording my screen, I was about to add some sort of percussion as a snare type thing. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna do, I think. I just got an idea for a totally different thing, but let's try to do that before we do the snare thing. I'm so fidgety in these sorts of things where I'm working on one thing and then I realize, hey, this could be cool on another section, and then I do that, and then I might forget about the thing that I was working on altogether. But I'll try to remember this time that we were working on the break. That's such a small thing. Anyway, let's keep that. Okay, now let's move on to the snare that I was working on. No. Ooh, that could be actually cool. Although it's not in key, or it's slightly off tune, I think. Is it too high or too low? It might still not be perfect, but that's closer, I think. Gosh, I love this section. It's so chill. Okay, maybe some shaker or something? Can we already play the next drop? Is it too early or nah, maybe it isn't. We can do it here. So, okay, let's do this. Let's add the snare that we have here for no reason. Just low pass filtered out of the way. And let's add some sort of build up snare or something. And also let's make it quieter because we didn't need it that loud in the break part. -4 even. That's a lot, but I don't know. Maybe that works. All right, the snare, the build-up snare. Oh, that's a cool one. Oh, damn it. We need to do it with a sampler. Maybe it could even be 24. Let's play with it a bit more. I want to add some sort of reverb automation as well. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know if it's something that would work. I don't have any real ideas for the second drop yet, so I guess we should just copy the first one and then kind of start playing around with ideas. Two new elements to the drums, of course, where else? One is going to be some sort of hit for the end of these new amen break cuts, and the other one is going to be some sort of percussion loop to the quiet parts, or something new to kind of catch your ear, like, or make you pay attention to it, like something different compared to the first drop, because otherwise they are just going to be too much the same. We could also try to add these from the break. We'll need to use SSF on the loop because it's too, it needs more rhythm to keep up with the other elements of the drums. Okay, I think that's it for the drums. There's way too much going on already. I won't touch them anymore. Or otherwise I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day working on the drums. Now the next thing is just let's try to change up the melody somewhat. So it's not the exact same thing that we have in the first drop. The break turned out great. I think it's really good. I think we can use the same melody in the build-up just to kind of trick the listener. Okay, so let's make the melody with the third sound and then just copy the MIDI to the other tracks of the layer stack. Okay, but now if we do that, we have to change the rest of the chords as well, I think. Gosh, I need to change everything. Let's take out the bass for now, just to reduce the number of variables. Is it D major? I don't know if it's D major. Second half could be the same as the first one, and we just changed the melody for the first half, just like, you know, to surprise the listener a bit, and then bring back the familiar at the end. I think we have the chords, now we just have to figure out the bass. Okay, that's pretty nice. I'm not sure if I want to add an outro and what it would be like if I were to add one. So I think I'm gonna keep it like this and could call it a day. I'll have one more listen through the track, and if I can find some parts that need to be worked on, we can do that today together. And if not, I'll end the video and, as always, do the rest of the production, the mixing and the mastering tomorrow, and then record the track for you as finished. But before I end for today, I'll just have one more listen to the whole thing and see if there is anything major left to work on. Alright, right, I think that's pretty good. I don't know if there's anything major to fix. I know the build-ups are not very good, especially this one with the weird build-up snare that we made. It's not super fancy and I maybe would like to change that, but I'll do that tomorrow when I do the finishing touches. Once again, I truly appreciate you hanging out with me through all these weeks. It really means a lot to me that some people are actually watching these, and I hope you are having as fun as I am. If you'd like to produce these weekly tracks with me, you can join the Project 52 challenge by just doing so on your own. Or if you want to share the tracks with others and give feedback to others, you can join the 6Sample Discord server. In the server, we have a Project 52 text channel where each week we share the tracks that we've made and also, as I said, give feedback to others and just have a good time. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, be sure to join from the link in the description. We would love to have you there. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing the future videos I release on every Wednesday, and be sure to also like the video if you liked it, because that means a lot. Alright, that's it for today. I will play the full track now that I will be finishing tomorrow. I hope you like it, and also I hope to see you next week for week 26 of Project 52, which will be the exact middle point of the challenge. So that's quite cool. The year has gone by so fast, I can't believe it. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.